Hi, what's up, y'all? Alright, now listen. Number one, I'm coming down with a cold. Better yet, that thing is here. I'm not taking this tissue out of my nose because my nose is running like a leaky faucet. So if this disgusts you or grosses you out, go ahead and turn the video off now because I may end up messing with it because it's itching the nose hairs. Alright, hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Travis. Welcome to another episode of Scattered Brilliancy. Today I'm going to be reviewing Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 2, episode, I don't know what episode this is. Next episode. Alright, so let me get through with the stuff that don't really matter. Alright, so Tiara and Ray J, they meet up on that same clip that they've been meeting up on all season. And Tiara feels like Ray J is not loyal. Ray J feels like Tiara was wrong for trying to get in close with Princess. Ray J feels like she, was really trying to be messy and all that kind of stuff. End of the day, they both said F you. Tiara said, I hope you have a nice BITCHASS life. I don't curse. Next up, on camera, I don't curse. Thank you. Next up, we got Nikki, Brandy, and, I lied. It was Nia, Nikki, and Shonda. They meet up, and then Nia updates them on everything that happened as far as a couple episodes ago when she met up with Nas. And they fought those 2 times in that one episode. So she's just telling Shonda and Nikki about all of that. Nikki is like, "Oh no, girl, that ain't happening." Oh, Nas invited me to her thing because if y'all remember, Nas, Tiara, and Nikki met up, and Tiara and Nikki were gonna use Nas's models or something like that. So they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna use your models. Let's talk about it." So Nas invited Nikki to some event. So Nikki is now like, "Oh, I'm gonna get her straight because she tried to fight you because y'all was sharing penis and all that kind of stuff." So Nikki goes to the event. Nas is very much like, "Hey girl, how you doing?" And Nikki's like, "Hey girl, hey." And Nas asks Nikki, "So when do you want to meet up about the models?" And Nikki's like, "Nah, girl, we ain't gonna be talking about no models because you real disrespectful. I didn't like what happened between you and Nia, and Nia's my friend, and all that kind of stuff." And in case y'all didn't know, Nas's real name is Nastasia. Okay, and so they go back and forth, and Nikki said, I mean, they were both making some valid points. Nas was kind of like, I mean, you judging me in the situation that I'm going through when you was just in this kind of similar situation with Molly Mall last season. And Nikki was like, but I was the girlfriend, you're the side chick, and you knew you were the side chick because he posts pictures of him and Nia on Instagram. I mean, they're all making valid points. I mean, but they're all stupid at the end of the day. So, I mean, hey, stupid is as stupid does. So anyway, Nikki pretty much tells her, oh, you need to value yourself. So then that's Nas' last straw. She's like, oh no, this chicken will be disrespecting me in my event. So she asked security to escort her out. Security never came though. So I was wondering, is security even a real thing, or was she calling them the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood security? I don't know. But she asked them to please escort her out. And, they're kind of like, not shoving, but they're kind of like, girl, don't touch me. Girl, don't touch me. Or you better get your hands off of me. You better get out of my event type thing. And um, Nikki picks up a drink. I thought she was gonna throw it on her because people love to just uh, they love to do that. But she didn't throw the drink. She sipped it. And then the most awkward thing happened. Um, Nas looked like she was. Nikki was like, "Oh no, girl, you did it. You done touched me. I'm about to handle this." So I'm thinking, oh, Nas is about to bop her in the face. And instead of bopping Nikki in the face, Nas throws up in her hand out of nowhere. She's like, and she just throws up clear liquid. Like, you can't be laughing. Like, she just throws up out of nowhere. And like, I was really preparing myself for like a fight, and I got throw up instead. Like, that's the most random thing you can do when you about to fight somebody. You ain't supposed to be throwing up when you about to fight. That's a sign of weakness. You better hold that ish in. I was really hoping she was gonna get a good two piece in there, but we got a two piece throw up because she threw up once. Nikki was like, "Ooh, girl, that's so unsophisticated, and that's nasty. You just threw up all over your floor." And then she was like, "Ooh, oh, if I could," and then she threw up again. She threw up again. What was in her guts, y'all? What was in her guts? It was clear. I don't know, y'all, but that's happened. Like that was very like it's very anticlimactic. She just, oh, my other nostril is leaking. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. See, that's what happened. Well, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. See, when you clog one up, the stuff be like, that door's locked, y'all. We gotta go out the other door, so they go to the other nostril. Let me go ahead and get through this video so I can go and get off this camera looking like this. All right, so Brandy. Brandy is the little Chihuahua girl. She meet up with Tiny at a restaurant. She met up with Tiny Harris, T.I.'s wife. She met up with her at a restaurant. Apparently, they good friends. But this episode was a filler episode, I think, aside from the Miles and Milan storyline. It was just a lot of updating going on. She updates Tiny on everything that's been happening between her and Max. And Tiny was like, well, it's not necessarily all his fault. Some of it is your fault, too. You got to think about yourself and stuff like that, which is true. You can't always blame the other person. Cut to Max. Max, her husband, is at the studio with Fizz, and they recorded some song. And Max is telling Fizz, oh, we got to record a song for this. We got to record a video for this song. And Fizz is like, I've only got to have Nikki in that so I can pour the lotion on all it. I think the name of the song is Lotion. It's a terrible song. But, so that, and then Max is updating Fizz on everything that's going on. And Fizz is kind of being the voice of reason, telling Max, hey, you was kind of wrong for throwing the ring and all that kind of stuff. And Max is just pretty much feeling like he's at a crossroads. Fast forward, late on in the daggone episode, we're at Max and Brandy's house. Brandy is wearing lingerie, and she has some fruits and champagne. And in her mind, she's thought about what Tiny has said, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna make things right. And I didn't like this part of the episode. Brandy has pretty much turned everything that's at least transpired on the season, and she's made it like her fault. Like, it's her fault that he threw the ring. It's her fault that he spazzed out on her. It's her fault that he doesn't wear the ring. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that she made herself the reason for everything that's been going on in their relationship. When that's not the case. Is she part of the reason? Yeah, but it's a joint thing. They're both to blame for what's going on in their relationship. So I did not like that she was coming from the perspective that it's all her fault. So then, like, she puts her dirty feet in his face, and she says, "You're so handsome." And my fiance said, "Where?" It was so hilarious. Oh my gosh. And Max in his confession was like, maybe Fizz is right. So Max went out and bought new rings. He bought a new wedding ring that he felt like, I ain't gonna want to take this off, and he bought her a new ring. See, when you can't breathe through your nose, you got to be careful with your breaths. All right, and so for the main part of this episode was pretty much all about Miles and Amber. We didn't see Milan at all. And the episode picked up where it left off last week with Miles being at the psychologist and Amber walking in. Oh my gosh, this is just so unprofessional. Miles tells Amber he's had feelings for men, and she's just like, okay. He tells her about his relationship. He doesn't tell her with whom. He just says he's been in a relationship with a man, and they pretty much get up at that point. Amber's like, everybody was right, everybody was right, everybody was right, everybody was right. Miles is just so flustered and so, he just can't take it. He just can't see her like this. So he goes to the bathroom, and it just got really over dramatic at that point. Amber runs out. After she gets outside the door, she collapses. And then there's some random short-haired black lady there consoling her. We don't know who this black lady is. I'm assuming she's on production for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And she's talking about she wants her mom. She's throwing like a fit. She goes outside onto the sidewalk and she collapses again. Like, I mean, I know she's just hurt, but it was just a lot. Like, it was very much like a child who's in their terrible two stage just throwing a fit because they didn't get a toy at Toys R Us. She gets in the car, um, and she just visibly looks really bad. She's been crying all her makeup off. I mean, you could tell that she's legit hurt. Um, but I think somewhere deep down inside, she knew because she talks about how everybody in high school would say he was gay, but she was just like she's gonna ride for him and she's just gonna not believe anything that they say and that kind of thing. So she's talking to the psychologist in the car, and she's just trying to. I mean, she's just rambling because she's going through all these different emotions, so she's just kind of rambling. She's talking about she doesn't know how to accept this. She doesn't know how she's going to tell her family, how she's going to tell her daughter, who he's like the father figure to, and she makes the statement that her future is over. If I could reach through the screen and choke her, I would. How dare you think that your future is over because somebody else does not really want to be with you? Ladies, men, whomever, don't you ever get so into a person and into a relationship to the point where if they leave, your life is over. You should never, ever be that deep into it. That if some like that's why I've never told anybody that you complete me. I would never use that phrase. I'll never tell anybody that they complete me because I am a whole person who wants to be with another whole person who complements my wholeness. Not I'm missing pieces and you're going to fill that void because if you leave, then I'm incomplete again. So that is just a terrible, terrible mindset to have. But anyway, so she's talking to the psychologist still in the car, and she brings up like, wait, she has like epiphany. She's like, I do have a couple of things that I want to ask him, just not right now because she needs her space. She says, I want to ask him about Milan. And the psychologist is just looking like, because the psychologist knows who Milan is. And she's kind of piecing things together in her mind. And she's like, this guy who's gay that he's always hanging out with and he's always turning up with, I want to find out, what's going on there. So the psychologist is like, you should ask him. So, but Amber decides she's going to go be with her mom and her sister. She doesn't hate him. She still loves him, but she just definitely needs her space, and she's going to reach out to him when she's ready to talk. When we check in with Amber a little bit later in the episode, she's with her grandma, which is her grandmother, and her grandmother knew he was gay. Amber still feels like she's wasting her whole life, and grandma's just trying to be there for Amber, just telling her, your life is not over. I've been through things myself. I went out and bought this blonde wig that looks terrible on me, so I made some bad decisions in my life. So she's just pretty much telling her that it's going to be okay. And then at the very end of the episode, we check back in with Miles, who's with his sisters. And this is him coming out to them because Amber, I think, threatened to tell everybody. So this is his way of getting a one-up on her and, not having her push him out the closet, but rather he's just going to step out on the closet on his own to all the people that matter to him. So he tells them, and, they're visibly upset, crying and like, what about our morals? Are you just saying F God? And Miles is just really, really confused. Like, if there was a word to describe Miles, confused is the word because he's they're all crying. But he's crying and talking about he doesn't understand why he's this way. He doesn't know why he has these feelings. You could tell that he has a serious, my brain is just not there to think about. It's an internal struggle between everything he's known his whole life versus what he is going through right now. He has one part of him that loves men and wants to be with a man and is in love with the man, but then he has this other side of him who's been taught his whole life that is wrong and you'll go to hell. So he has this internal struggle going on. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know which side is the right side. Is there a right side? Is there a compromise? He has no clue right now. So he's just really, really, really messed up in the head. He's talking about why did I make better decisions? Well, no, they tell him that he needs to make better decisions, but they do tell him that at the end of the day, they're going to support him because he's their brother and their blood. And that is where the episode ends. Like I said, this was a filler episode.
The Miles Amber thing was the most, took up the majority of the episode. Like 80% of the episode was about them, and everything else was kind of, in there. Thank y'all so much for watching the episode. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe, share, do it, whatever if you like it. I don't really care. Pray for me at my nostrils, that they stop running and that I can breathe without choking on my mucus or something like that. Um, I'll talk to y'all later.